Hey everyone, today we're doing a real life case study on why this Shenton Way penthouse buyer lost $288,000 selling his new launch property after TOP. Now, if you're interested to find out really what happened and how to prevent something like this from happening to yourself, do stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Gordon Chiu and I share property tips, tricks and secrets to property sellers, buyers and investors like yourself. Now, if you'd like to support this channel, do remember to click on the like button, subscribe and click on the bell notification. Now, without further ado, let's go straight to the topic. Okay, the property that we're going to cover today is called Eon Shenton. Now, Eon Shenton is a 99-year leasehold property. It's a mixed development. It has shops on the first level and commercial offices in the middle. And the top 10 floors are actually 132 residential units. Now the location of Eon Shenton is over here, Mystery Road. And location-wise, it's pretty ideal. If you look at it, it's about 4 to 5 minutes walk to Tanjong Pagar MRT, and it would be right at the doorstep of the future Prince Edward MRT. Now, so location, we can see this is actually in the Greater Southern Waterfront area, right smack in the middle of the CBD. So I would give probably 5 stars out of 5 for the location itself. Now, if we go to the 3D view, you can see that, okay, so this over here, this is the Tanjong Pagar terminal. And that's slated to move out in the next few years to make way for the Greater Southern Waterfront plan. You of course have a fantastic sea view over here, and this would be Marina 1. Now we go to the actual view from the unit, okay. So this is actually the sea view units, and this is about a picture from the 30th floor. Now you can actually see this is the Tanjong Pagar terminal there. Okay, so it's already starting to move out. You have a fantastic sea view. Over here you have the cruise center. Okay, Marina 1 is over here, and of course this entire development further up around here you would see on the edge will be the Gardens by the Bay. Now location wise, fantastic, beautiful sea view. Now, what went wrong with this property? I'm sure you're curious to find out. So let's go into it. All right. So the property that we're looking at is actually about 2 properties. So I have some backstory. I met this customer back in 2018. They wanted to sell off this property itself, and he happened to have a friend. Now, his friend also bought a property there, same level, but his friend chose to buy a property that it's not facing the sea view. Now, he bought the sea view unit, and the difference, why we can do some comparison is this. So this is the sea view unit. Okay, so the sea view unit lost about $145,000 when they sold it during TOP, and the non-sea view unit, that means the units that are facing the city area, it actually lost this $288,000. That's his friend. So if you look at the purchase time, it's pretty similar because you are looking at between April 2012 and July 2012. So just a couple of months difference. Now, please take note, of course, we cannot review the unit number over here, but you can see that the price difference between this and this is actually about $500 per square feet. Now, the reason being the developer will usually charge a premium over the facing. So the sea view facing units are about $500 per square feet more expensive, and the city facing units are actually about $2,000 63 at launch time, and so it's about $500 difference. Okay, but over here you can see that this particular unit over here, this one actually lost, sold at 1602 per square feet. So it lost about $400 per square feet, about $400 per square feet. So looking at the size, now Eon Shenton has only 2 and 3 bedders. Okay, so you see standard there's only 2 or 3 bedrooms. And the size is relatively small. So you're looking at 624 and this is about 603. These are actually the penthouse units with balcony. Okay, and you see the profit and the loss. In this case, it's only loss, no profit. Okay, so this is Eon Shenton over here. So the sea view unit facing ones will be over looking here. And the one that I mentioned that is looking at the city view, this is actually almost back to this Lumiere. So if you go to this particular unit here, this one is actually the one that is facing Lumiere. Okay, so what can we learn from this? Reality is this: if you are looking directly into somebody's house now, and if you've really been there, this Mystery Road is actually very, very narrow. It's only like a single lane road, okay, single or double lane road. I forgot about it. But ultimately, this road is very narrow, and so the building distance between each other is very, very near. Okay, now because of that close proximity, that is also the reason why the units tend to be undesirable, and that would explain why this particular client actually only managed to sell at this kind of pricing. Okay, I didn't actually sell this exact unit. I actually sold this one over here. All right, so this was his friend, but you know, before I even met him, he already sold, because this time between here and here is about a good 6 months difference. All right, so there was some irony that really happened. So this client was, you know, actually he found out, I was having coffee with them, and they found out a few years later that, you know, something really very horrible happened to them. Okay, of course I cannot review the unit, but the friend who actually sold to at a loss of 288,000, what happened to him was that his actual buyer, when we saw this transaction on 10 February 2021, so between the years of 2017 and 2021, it was actually 4 years. So just nice, the seller stamp duty is over. Then what happened is they actually sold for a profit of $300,000. You see, they bought at 1602, sold at around launch price. So I can tell you, the seller, after he found out, it was actually very, very upset. And you're talking about what? $288,000. Come on, everybody. What can you buy? You're actually looking at, you know, buying something like Tesla Model 3 with COE, full cash that you lost. So one person lost a Tesla Model 3 and the other person actually bought a Tesla Model 3 with the profits. Of course, I'm not calculating about interest and all the holding costs, but ultimately, that's the reality of this. Okay? Now, I want to share, the purpose is not to tell you, you know, what that this person, you know, sell at the wrong timing. Ultimately, the timing that you sell your property, it's also a factor, all right? And in this case, it was a big factor, but more importantly, the purpose of this video is to share with you what happened to these properties that they bought. You know, what are the aspects that make it especially challenging to sell and why nobody wanted to buy it. Now, if you look at this floor plan over here. So this floor plan is the 624. So this floor plan is actually the ones that are having the $288,000 loss. Okay, so for this property, the balcony, you can see this text, what does it say? Open to sky. Open to sky. So what does open to sky mean? It means that there is actually no roof above the balcony. You heard me, right? No roof above the balcony. Okay, so this would be, if you look at the master room, so master room you can fit queen size, okay, quite okay, not too bad. Bedroom one is little on the small side. You can only fit a single bed or super single, but of course 624 square feet, you know, and you have three huge balconies. All right, then ultimately, what do you expect, right? So the internal space is what we call kitchenette, all right? Don't have a proper sealed up kitchen, and of course you have your dining, living, one bathroom, shed. Okay, so that's another issue by itself. Now, if we look at the 603 square feet, you can that I sold for my client. Same thing. The only difference is that the balcony, it's one joint with the living and the master. So this one, this one was 3. And take note, this one, because it's facing the Lumiere condo, you are looking at 3 huge balconies, you know, basically is facing other property lah. All right. And this one is actually unblocked view, but you also have this huge balcony. Master room about the same size, bedroom one, again that super single. And this one is a bit better, kitchen layout that potentially we were telling buyers that you can seal this up. Okay, but again, one bathroom. Okay, one bathroom, take note of this. Now, this would be the layout of the entire condominium. So the one that had that 288K loss, okay, this one was actually on this side. So this side is not facing the sea, it's actually facing the condo. And actually, sorry, wrong. So this one is actually facing the Lumiere. So this one is actually facing Lumiere. And this one is facing the sea view. All right. But what you will notice is the layout is another issue of the condo. It's a long corridor. So this condo had a common complaint. It's always a situation that, you know, when you have a super long corridor, people will claim that it's noisy. You have a lot of shoes laid out at the corridor area, and generally anybody that walk past, if they're talking, you can hear what's happening outside your door. So that's another issue by itself. Okay, but if you look at Eon Shenton location over here, we have to see that the main thing consideration is this. Now, when you buy a Shenton Way property, especially now, okay, you can, if you go to the master plan, this is the extract of master plan, you can see that master plan itself, this whole area is all white side. So white side, you can, those developers that bid on the land, they can actually open to build anything, be it office, residential, mixed development, like Eon Shenton itself is your choice, all right? So all this over here, it's not planned out yet, so it's still open. But if you look at the entire Shenton Way area, this place is all undeveloped, all right? And importantly, if you look at the Prince Edward MRT itself, it is not completed yet. Now, if you're trying to buy a property here, all right, there are many new launches in Shenton Way. And a lot of them, some of them are going for $3,000 plus per square feet, way more expensive than what Eon Shenton went for lah. So, but ultimately is this, when you're buying into Shenton Way, you have to understand that you're trying to buy into the potential of the area. Now, potential of the area, what do I mean? Ultimately, if you are looking at buying in an area that is undergoing transformation, you have to be aware that you got to wait until the transformation actually take place before you can have that profit margins. If the transformation haven't happened, then what are you trying to tell people that, you know, okay, I wait 8 years or 5 years, 6 years, but you know, this is the future, but the future haven't happened yet. All right, so naturally that is what happened to Eon Shenton, because the buyers, original buyers, did not have the time to wait for the up and coming, you know, construction, wait for Tanjong Pagar terminal to actually move out before they sell. They didn't even wait for the MRT to complete. So they had some issues, they decided to sell. All right, and that is also one major factor that caused them these losses. It's the timing itself. So right now, so what we covered, timing is one issue, okay? Layout is, to me, is the biggest issue. Then, of course, location, there's no problem, but facing was another issue for the $288,000 loss, all right? Now, so this is an extract of the Greater Southern Waterfront itself. So over here, you have Gardens by the Bay, okay, your actually cruise center, all right? So this one is the Marina Bay area, all right? So then your Tanjong Pagar terminal is here. Then you have your Pasir Panjang, and of course your Sentosa and all this. So this stretch itself is about 30 kilometers. So ultimately, the Greater Southern Waterfront plan that a lot of agents have been selling to their investors, this is something that we have to understand. That plan ain't going to be realized soon. Okay, that plan is going to materialize over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years or more, right? If you want to invest in this area, you know, some people buy Avenue South, you know, those kind you want to buy with the Greater Southern Waterfront plan, then ultimately what I can suggest to you is you got to wait for the things the transformation to complete, or at least go halfway, because of course you want to say that, okay, I leave some money, but some profits for the next investor to earn. But ultimately, if you are going to sell now, you are actually giving the profits to almost all the profits to the next buyer. Okay, next buyer definitely going to earn, because ultimately you're going to see that when the MRT for Prince Edward is completed, that's going to be a price jump itself. All right. Then when you have your terminal all moved out and more construction, more new launches coming in, then you are going to expect that the new launches are going to sell higher, and then suddenly your Eon Shenton going to seem as is affordable, you know, and then the resale will start moving again. Okay, but right now the transactions are very little. Now, what I want to share with you, if you look at this photo over here, this is what we call open to sky. Okay, why this is an issue, open to sky? Okay, this is very rare in Singapore condo context. If you look at open to sky, okay, so from the living room, when you look out, what do you see here? No roof, right? No roof. Now, the point of a balcony is this. A lot of penthouses like to have roof terrace. Now, when you're trying to sell a roof terrace, the reality is this. Roof terraces are unsheltered, all right? To shelter a roof terrace, you also have to incur a heavy cost, and that's provided the MCST allow you to build fixed, fixtures, which is quite rare lah. Usually you have to do like, awning, retractable awning and all these things. But understand one thing, Eon Shenton, this is about 30 stories high, okay? So when I actually go to this condo, I tell you at 30 stories high, any breeze is actually very, very strong and you're facing the open sea. So down here, the air flow is very, very good, but I can tell you, you put any retractable awning, it's going to be a problem. Probably, it must be very strong, and at that time, we don't even know whether it's allowed because this client sold at TOP. And I couldn't even put a foldable umbrella there because, usually when I have this kind of staging, we will put some, outdoor umbrella at the patio, or this outdoor balcony area so that, to block the sun. So this happened to be a cloudy day. So end up the sun wasn't shining through. But the reality of this is this. You look at the size of the balcony, okay? This area that 90% of the buyers came to here, they look at the sea view, they say, beautiful, fantastic sea view, all right? But when they actually look at the balcony area, they say, what can I do with this space? My awning also, I cannot put so big because ultimately the wind is too strong, right? So if this is a normal balcony where I have a roof over the ceiling that is covering all this, I can do laundry here. Right now, this place, the rooms are so small, the kitchen is so small, I have no area to do my laundry. Yes, I use washer dryer, but ultimately, the open space is not usable. Now, when I was talking to the buyer that time, I asked him, what made you buy this open balcony, floor plan? His idea is that, I have the best view that money can buy. But I told him, you have the best view that money can buy. But anybody that see this says that your area ain't usable. And this area is even bigger than your rooms and your living room. Right? So you have what you call a white elephant. All right? So in this case, the reason why you only attain that kind of selling price is because this is unusable space. If you had bought something that is on the lower floors where their balcony had a shelter, then you wouldn't face this problem already. But since you choose this, then this is your issue. You have to deal with this issue. So if you look at this is the living room. The living room is narrow, okay, compared to the balcony size, right? Very, very narrow. And kitchen, this is the kitchen. Kitchen is small, and this is, it's not even enclosed. You probably have to do another door, okay? And of course, your bathroom, this is a shared bathroom, which is another problem itself. You got a 2-bedroom, but you only got 1 bath. A lot of buyers really hate 2-bed, 1-bath configuration. So this is another thing that you all have to look out for. So ultimately, I would say these are, all the causes that add together. So you see, from the unusable space, to a lot of construction happening, nearby. People don't want that construction noise, the kind of thing that, I don't know whether after everything is completed, will my unblocked view still be there or not? Because based on the master plan, it seems as though the unblocked view will be removed. Okay, it will not be there anymore, right? That's one consideration. Then ultimately, you have to see that the long corridor, the noise factor, and in case you didn't know, Shenton Way area, you don't have much amenities, right? And because the greater plan is that for all this, to live where you work. So the plan of greater Southern Waterfront is live where you work. But in this case, there's nothing there. At night, it's almost deserted unless you just like drinking. So your buyers are not going to be families. Your buyers are going to be people who work there and want to have the convenience, right? It's not a family lifestyle because there's nothing there. So families don't like it. The place, I can tell you, is fantastic for rentals. Tenancies, it will go, as soon as you release it, probably 1-2 weeks, you'll be taken out at a high rent. So that when you buy a Shenton Way area, it's for investing. You need to hold it for a certain time. You earn the rental cover your installment, or at least, maybe you don't need to top up so much. So your tenant is paying off your installment for you, ultimately. So these are the things that you should be factoring in when you are buying an investment property, especially in Shenton Way, not looking at, holding for, so in this case, you look at here, hold for 6 years. This is hold for about 5 years, 6 years. You make this loss, I tell you, this loss will set you back by many, many years of investing. So ultimately, I asked him this question, how come the person that buy for you, the agent that buy for you, didn't advise you? So he mentioned that he actually just went into the show flat, just think that he liked this unit, and then he bought. There wasn't any advice. Of course, because he didn't seek any professional advice, then that's what happened lah. So both of them lost this money lah. So what I can say is this: when you are buying a multi-million-dollar property, you should look at all factors. This is, when we advise clients, like for us, we actually use a very strict framework to assess every single property. Now, if you're not following this strict framework, then you get into trouble like this. And, for our case, what I can do is try my best to sell at the highest price possible. That's why we spend the time going and stage the property. Even though it's empty, didn't even install lights, couldn't do night viewing. And ironically, I think the night view should be quite nice, but because there's no lights, can't do anything. But business fail, business fail, then nothing we can do lah. So please, my personal advice to you is seek professional help before you invest. If when you buy something that you just like and you think is a good idea, it may turn out otherwise. Okay? Now, if you like this video, do remember to like, subscribe, and click on the bell notification, so more videos like this will be coming up. All right. Thank you. That's all for today. See you soon, and goodbye.